You're alone in your kitchen looking for your keys and you say out loud, "Where did I put you?" No one hears it. You didn't plan to say it. It just came out. This isn't a strange habit. The reason is stranger than you think. Your brain has been talking to itself since before you could walk. Out loud was the first version and it never fully stopped. Psychologist Lev Vygotsky spent years watching children play, and he noticed something everyone had overlooked. Young children constantly narrate their own actions out loud. Stacking a block, a child says, "Up here, now this one." Not to anyone, just to the air around them. Vygotsky called this private speech. He argued it wasn't random chatter. It was thinking happening out loud, because a child's brain hadn't yet learned how to move that process inside. Why would a developing brain need to speak its own thoughts? Because language wasn't originally built for communication alone. It was built to organize thought itself. Before a child can plan silently in their head, they have to practice planning out loud first. Over time, most children take this narration and turn the volume down. The words move from full sentences to whispers, from whispers to just moving lips, and finally to something almost silent. Vygotsky believed this inner voice never actually disappears. It just goes underground. So when you talk to yourself as an adult, you're not doing something new. You're doing something ancient, something that used to run at full volume, now leaking back out. Psychologist Charles Fernyhough, who has spent decades studying inner speech, found that this internal narrator doesn't stay quiet all the time, even in adults. Under certain conditions, stress, difficult tasks, or moments of intense focus, the volume gets turned back up and the words come back out loud. You've probably felt this yourself. Under pressure, alone with a hard problem, the thinking that usually stays silent suddenly needs a voice again. Here's where it gets stranger. Cognitive scientist Gary Lupien ran experiments testing whether talking to yourself changes how well you think. In one study, participants searched for objects in cluttered images. Some silently thought the object's name. Others said it out loud. The people who spoke the object's name out loud found it faster. Saying a word out loud sharpened attention toward exactly what that word represented, in a way silent thought alone didn't quite manage. Speaking to yourself isn't a malfunction. It's your brain reaching for a tool that works. Think about what this means for something as simple as looking for your keys. Saying keys, keys, keys out loud isn't nonsense. It's your brain using sound to focus your search, the same trick that helped a small child find where a puzzle piece belonged. There's a reason this specific self-talk shows up most when you're alone. In front of other people, a strong social instinct usually suppresses it, since speaking to yourself in public can look unusual. Remove other people from the room, and the oldest, most useful version of your thinking process comes back out. This connects to something deeper about how your ancestors survived. Early humans lived in small, tightly bonded groups where reading social cues correctly mattered enormously. A behavior that looked odd to others could affect your standing in the group. So a brain that learned to keep its raw thinking private, except when truly alone, had an advantage. But the actual thinking tool stayed useful the entire time. It just adapted to only surface in low-risk moments. Your empty kitchen, your car, a quiet room with the door closed. Fernyhogh's research also found something else worth noting. People who talk to themselves more frequently often perform better on tasks requiring self-control and planning. The internal narrator isn't just commentary. It appears to help regulate behavior, the same way a coach talking a player through a difficult move helps them execute it more precisely. There's also a common myth worth clearing up. Talking to yourself has long been treated as a sign something is wrong. The research says nearly the opposite. In ordinary, low-stakes situations, it's a marker of healthy cognitive function, not a warning sign. So all those moments, announcing what you're about to cook, muttering instructions while assembling furniture, whispering a phone number while you search for a pen, aren't glitches. They're your brain's original operating system, quietly surfacing whenever the coast is clear. So the next time you catch yourself speaking out loud to an empty room, notice it. That voice isn't new, and it isn't strange. It's the same one you used as a child to learn to think in the first place, still doing its job the way it always has. You didn't start talking to yourself out of nowhere. You started the moment you started thinking, and some part of you never learned to do one without the other.